Faf, today obviously must be a bit of a relief for you. Just how impressed were you with that bowling effort?
Yeah, very relieved. Feel a little bit lighter. Um, but I think in all, our cricket today was much, much better and much more competitive. We spoke a lot about energy in the field and stuff like that, and I think you can really, really see a big difference today in the team. So really pleased with the bowlers. I thought once again Andy and Chris were very good through the middle there. The two of them is starting to put in some real consistent performances now for us with the ball, and that's very, very pleasing to see. Imran, as always, is special, but I think especially on a wicket like that today, where it's not suited for spinners, straight boundaries, to get 4 wickets like that today was amazing bowling performance.
Faf, at 33 for none when you went off for that first rain, was there a feeling of, flip, here we go again?
No, it wasn't here we go again. It was just a case of reminding the guys not to get frustrated with doing the things that we need to do. If Afghanistan plays a few shots of the things that we need to do, then it's okay, but not to feel like we need to change or panic. So that was more the feeling and the discussion is these are our plans, these are the areas where we need to bowl, focus on that, and then the results will come. And you know, maybe that drinks break came at a nice time for the guys to just re-zone themselves, especially when you haven't played against teams like that. You know, the bowlers don't know a lot of the batters, so it took them 7 or 8 overs to really nail down what areas they should be targeting at different batters.
Faf, was this game a case of the performance is what you really what really matters, and with regards to that, how pleased are you with the whole performance?
Yeah, we needed to be solid, and I think I've said that a lot, that we're showing signs of good cricket, but we're showing a lot of signs of some inconsistent and at stages bad cricket. So today was an opportunity for us to put our peg in the ground to make sure that we put in a solid performance, you know, in all departments. And I thought we did that. Bowl, fielding, and also batting, very clinical, chasing a small total down. You know, tough, tricky first 10 overs there with the ball nipping around a little bit, getting through that, and then putting pressure back on their bowlers.
Faf, is it too simplistic to say if only you'd bowled like this against Bangladesh, you wouldn't have been in the trouble you're in?
Yeah, that's a fair comment. You know, obviously the wicket was probably was better than this one, so there wasn't as much assistance. But yeah, for them to score 330 on a deck like that, probably 280, 290, then it's a different chase. Unfortunately, we can't go back into the past, but yeah, today was a much more consistent performance with the ball.
Faf, you mentioned when you guys were batting the ball nipping around in the first 10 overs, and Afghanistan obviously bowled quite well there, but do you feel that a bit of an opportunity was let slip to give net run rate a big boost? I mean, chase down 127 and say 20 overs, run a ball, that had to be on?
Yeah, after the start, I mean, initially the start was just about making sure we get a good foundation. And then I thought Quinton did that really well. He transferred that pressure. I suppose that's what Quinny always does anyway, but he did take their attack on. And then when we got to about, I think it was about 60 or so runs, conversation with the coach was that it's a good opportunity for us to maybe send someone like Andy, and who's not going to take 5 or 6 or 10 balls to get himself in, but the nature that the start that we have, it gives us the freedom to send someone in to try and tackle a bit more. So that was his plan. And then Ash, I mean, obviously Ash, in a perfect world, yes, you would want Ash to get 40 balls there, or 40 or 50 balls. But I think specifically with him, it's bigger picture. You know, it's about getting runs, finishing a game off, getting confidence for himself. He's a big player for us, and we need him for the next 4 games. So yeah, ideally he wanted to score a little bit quicker there towards the end, but I see it as more of a big picture thing with him specifically.
I was actually going to ask exactly the same question, but to lead on from that, is that the kind of innings that you think can kickstart Hash? Because he's obviously a very important player.
Yeah, he is. He is an important player for us, and I think time in the middle is gold for any batter. guys like Quinton is on a different level when it comes to just attacking and free all the time. But not all players are like him. Some players really just needs time in the middle and runs behind their name or their back, and which really gives them confidence. And that's why I say in a perfect world, yes, we could have pushed a little bit harder there at the end. But for me, sitting on the side, I was okay with him because I see the value in it in the games that's coming up next.
Faf, the challenge is probably going to get a little bit tougher from here on. What are the things that you took from this game that you think you really need to hold on to before the next one? And then are there any things that you need to improve on?
Yeah. 3 games coming up now, three big games for us. But I think if we play like we did today, we will be a better team. There's no doubt about that, and we've showed that for leading up to the tournament. The first 3 games we didn't play like we did today. Forget the opposition. It's the stuff that you can control yourself. There was energy in the bowlers. There was energy in the fielders. Batters were clear in what they needed to do. So hopefully this is a real confidence booster for everyone in the team. And just there's a little bit, as I said, that little bit of weight that you feel that's off your shoulders now. So now the guys we know what's lying ahead. We need to win every game that we play. But today was a really good step in the right direction.
Faf, you spoke about the 2 all-rounds doing really well. Is that plan B seeming to be kicking into gear? And secondly, the first time you've played the same side in 2 games, does that also help just to settle things in the dressing room?
Yeah, as we said, coming to the World Cup, our plan was always with the bowlers that we had, the X-factor bowlers, that we needed a batting all-rounder and possibly 2 batting all-rounders, and that's why obviously Andy and Dwayne came into the picture. But now that we've lost 2 bowlers and 2 fast and X-factor bowlers, obviously Murray then jumps straight to the front again. But I've really been impressed with Murray. He came these first couple of weeks within the side was a little bit off his game, but he's turned it around completely, and he's bowling really well in practices. He's hungry, he's performing well, he's consistent, and that's something that's probably not always been there with him. So that's really good signs for him. He's putting in performance after performance. And then your other question was? Yep. The plan is, as I said before this game, is to try and stick with players now and try and see how we can get some momentum in selection, and hopefully that unfolds with runs. So obviously that, someone like Aiden coming into the next 2 or 3 games, hopefully he really can put his name in scoring runs as well. Because we do feel there's Aiden is a special player, and I think the world isn't seeded in one-day international cricket yet, but we do believe that there's something there that is made for the big stage and also for big games. So we back him.
Faf, you spoke yesterday about Lungi and leaving him out today with the longer term plan in mind. How confident are you that you're going to get him at 100% for New Zealand?
Yeah, I'm hoping that he would be 100%. From what I'm hearing from the physios is that will happen. They're pretty confident. But we were also pretty confident a week ago, so that took a little bit longer. It's just literally seeing how his body goes. As I said, he's coming off 1 or 2 injuries in a row. He bowled again today. Tomorrow will be a travelling day, but I know the plan with him is just to make sure that he gets his load up as well, because there's one thing having an injury, but then secondly, he hasn't bowled a lot of overs. And when you come into one-day international cricket, it's not just like bowling 3 overs in the nets, just going through action. You need to be on. Your intensity needs to be at 100%, because if you're bowling not at 100%, then the opposition will take you down. So I'm hoping that he will be at 100%.
You get to a stage with him where you start considering reinforcements from back home at some point?
I don't think it's that serious. Dale's is obviously a little bit more serious. We were hoping that we would see results, and it just almost went backwards, his shoulder, where with Lungi we're seeing the other way around. He's improving. So I think now it's just a case of getting his fitness levels back in. So I think he'll be fine for the next game.
Faf, Andire bowled well again today, and you also batted at 3. Just how impressed have you been with him over the last 5 games? Has he been your most consistent player?
Yeah, he has been. He has been really good. with the ball, surprisingly, every single game he does get wickets. Initially, I feel like he's picked up a yard again. He's not bowling quick, obviously, but he's definitely bowling not floaty, so the ball's coming out. I feel like there's more intensity with him hitting the crease, hitting the wicket. And same thing with Chris Morris, they seeming to moving in the right direction with their game in terms of consistency. Andy, if he can hit that same spot and use his short ball every now and again, he's an effective bowler. So yeah, really, really pleased with the way he's going.
Faf, the fielding today was really good. Dwayne took some really good catches out in the deep, good catches in the slips. The intensity just seemed to be up. What was the buzz out in the field? Who was saying what?
Dwayne took some really good catches there in the.
Sorry, not Dwayne. Rusty. Sorry, my bad. Rusty. Yeah. Rusty.
I saw Dwayne was catching some yawns there on the side.
Yeah.
But no, Rusty, yeah, good fielder. Aiden, really good fielder, good catches. But as I said yesterday before the match, it wasn't the practice as much this week that was important as the stuff that we needed to really get right from a what you can control, and that is one thing. Is that I felt there was a real good buzz and presence, so that tells me that the guys are hungry and motivated. And why it wasn't as potent in the first 3 games, I can't tell you that. There's no answer for that, but there was a real purpose in this week when speaking specifically about that. So it's good to see that was good today.
Faf, is this now a new beginning in the tournament, start fresh from tomorrow? Is that the feeling in with you guys?
That's the feeling. I mean, you always need to look at things optimistically. We got sort of a step from West Indies with the rain, and now we've took a real big step towards where we need to be. So I hope so.